beautiful people, and welcome back to Life of a Dreamer. My name is Darian Wright. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So today I wanted to give you guys a quick little video on how I groom my brows. I get so many questions on what I do to maintain my brows. I personally like to thread and tweeze them. So stay tuned if you guys want to find out how you can thread your own brows at home. So to thread your brows at home, of course, you're gonna need some kind of thread. I got this upholstery thread from Walmart. It's not like normal hand sewn cotton thread that you would use to kind of sew up a patch. It's a little bit thicker. It's smoother. It grabs the hair easier, and it doesn't break as easy as the typical 30-cent thread that you can buy in the little spools. This was about $1.98 or $2.98. I can't remember. I'll try to link it down below, but if not, if you're going to go find your own thread to try to thread your brows at home, make sure you find a really kind of thick, smooth thread just for that purpose, so it doesn't break a lot and so that it glides on the skin, doesn't get much irritation, and just grabs the hair and gets out of there. Another thing you're definitely gonna need are a pair of tweezers. I just had these tweezers. I've had them forever. I don't even remember where I bought them, but you can literally get tweezers anywhere. Next, you're definitely gonna wanna have a spoolie or some kind of eyebrow brush on hand, and this really helps to kind of get the hairs out of the way, brush them back. You're also gonna wanna have a pair of precision scissors. I can't say that, precision scissors. Little bitty things. They usually come in little grooming kits. They come with tweezers and stuff like that. They're really nice and small. You can kind of get in and cut those long brow hairs. They're just really, really helpful to have. So the last three things I have up here you may or may not use, just depending on the technique that you use, but I have my Wet n Wild pencil in the color Simmer Brown Now. Y'all know this is my trusty brow pencil. It's the perfect color brown. It's not too light, too dark. So if you're gonna go with the method of filling in your brow and then grooming them around that shape, you're definitely gonna wanna use whatever you use to fill your brows in with. The next product I have up here is baby powder. With any kind of hair removal, you can use baby powder to kind of suck up any excess moisture on the skin or any oils. It definitely helps to grip the hair better, helps the thread to grip the hair better and just kind of move faster. I personally don't use it when I thread my brows. I don't tend to need it, but it can be something good to have on hand. The last product I have up here is just some rosehip oil. I have seen people thread using oils. When I wax people or myself or any kind of hair removal process, I never like to use any kind of oil before, during, or after the process, just simply because when you are pulling hairs out of the follicles, you're opening that pore, you're opening that follicle, and depending on how thick your hair is, you can bleed sometimes. So you don't want that oil going into a brand new open sensitive pore or hair follicle. It just can lead to irritation. It can lead to blockages, which can cause pimples or breakouts or things like that. And I'm just not a fan of putting oil on sensitive open pores and skin. It's just not my preference. Some people don't mind, some people don't have any reactions to it. So just know your skin and know which products you want to use. It may be helpful for you to use oil. I personally do not use oil during any hair removal process. So I'm going to show you two different ways that I kind of groom and clean up my brows. One way is to just start off with the natural brow with nothing on it, just kind of clean up underneath that part and kind of clean up the top. Or sometimes I like to fill in my brow and clean up around the filled in area. If I'm gonna do this method, I like to kind of make my brows thicker than I usually will fill them in, just so that I don't take off too much. So this is a little bit thicker than my usual brow shape, and I'll kind of go in and clean up under that and on top of that, just so that I don't go too overboard with the threading. So when you're starting with your brows, you just wanna go in with a spoolie and just kind of brush everything up. So now it's time to go in with the thread. So to start off, you're gonna measure about 12 to 14 inches. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just gonna fold that over so that you have that in half. So each side is about 6 to 7 inches, and you're just going to tie that in a knot. Just like that. Next, you're gonna take your little knotted thread and you're gonna twist it 2 to 3 times so that you kind of have this figure 8 thing going on. So the way you want to hold your hands when you're going to start threading is the most important thing is going to be your pointer finger and your thumb. These are going to be the things that give you the motion and the movement. As you can see, the little twisty part in the middle is what's going to move and pull those hairs out. So you want to kind of get this part out of the way, and all the action is going to be with your 2 fingers. So you see these unwanted hairs right here. I'm going to try to get those in the middle of this V so that when the middle part goes up, it's going to drag those hairs out. So let me see if I can get this angle for you guys. So you see how I kind of can separate the hair with this line, with the bottom line? You want that in the middle. If you can see, like the little hairs are growing down this way, it's easier to go against the grain to pull the hair out instead of going down this way. So if I was to go down this way, sometimes you'll get a few hairs going this way, but you'll catch them easier, like with this one, if you pull it going against the way the hair is growing. If that makes any sense. You see how much cleaner that looks up there? You can see it's like a little red from irritation from the thread pulling out the hairs, but it's much cleaner up here. And I'm super like paranoid about this area up here, and since the hairs grow up and out and this way, it's kind of hard for me to thread that way, so I usually just go in with the tweezers and I'll kind of pluck individually which hairs I want to remove. Since I don't want to get too close to this line, I like where the arch is going. I'm not going to go in there with the thread because I don't want to pull too much out, so I'm just going to go in with my tweezers and get the rest of those hairs. And now we're gonna move on to this brow. Ignore my little friend here. She is very painful and she was not invited to the party, but she just decided to show up anyway. there you go. That is how I groom my brows. So that is it, you guys. That is how I groom my brows, either one of those two ways. I hope this video helped you guys. I know I watched a ton of YouTube videos trying to figure out how to thread my own brows. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope I gave you guys some tips that you could work with. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Don't forget to like this, follow me on my social media, and thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.